Happy 4th of July, everybody. Here I am, Martha Washington, ready to celebrate the day. Thanks to Applause Costumes and Dancewear and Moorhead for letting me deck out and have a little fun dressing today and making a colonial cake. I thought instead of a, more modern 4th of July dessert, we'd go for a dessert that the patriots, the founding fathers, really ate. Mount Vernon, George Washington's home in Virginia, has a website that talks about the food the Washingtons ate. And they talk about this thing they called Martha Washington's Great Cake. Now, maybe it was a great cake because, get this, it took 40 eggs, 4 pounds of sugar, crazy huge recipe, but we managed to pare it down a little bit, and this will make a nice cake for your 4th of July celebration. Typically, you're going to want to use some fruit in this cake that the Washingtons might have on hand for them at their home in Virginia. So what I did here is I cut up some apples, some pears, there's some raisins and dates, all sorts of nice fruit, and soak it overnight if you can, if not just for a few hours, in brandy or whiskey or port. I actually had a bottle of port that I soaked it in, so it just really makes it a nice rich flavor. All right, so I've got most of the fruit, and you're going to save this alcohol because you're going to want to put that in the cake batter later, so I'll set that aside. So I just added the 1/4 cup flour to the fruit mixture and just kind of stir that up a little bit. And then add about 1/2 cup of almonds and mix those up. Go ahead and put the fruit aside, and then your alcohol is aside too. And these sleeves, I'm so glad I don't normally cook like this, because this is a pretty intensive recipe and my sleeves are getting in the way. 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg and mace. Time to cream the butter. 1.5 cups of sugar, but do add it really slowly just to get it all mixed in nicely with the butter. The recipe calls for 3 eggs, and then you're going to want to add this to your butter and sugar mixture. Remember that alcohol you set aside? Now is the time to put it into your butter and sugar mixture along with your flour that includes those spices. Now, I didn't end up using all of my wine, you can see here, but you know what they would have done back in the old days? Apparently they would take these cakes and they would wrap them up really tightly, and then throughout the next several weeks or even months, they would go into the pantry and pour whiskey or wine on them and wrap them up again, and these cakes would keep for months and months and months. And of course they had to do that because they didn't have refrigerators, and it kept these beautiful cakes together. The egg whites are done, and you simply fold them into your batter. Now the fruit we set aside with the almonds is ready to go in the mixture, and again you're going to want to just do it really gradually. Now it's time to put the great cake into a greased springform pan. It's going to go in a 325 degree oven for about an hour. This is a pretty time intensive process, but it's here and it's really, really beautiful. Lots of moist fruit, but not a fruit cake like those icky ones you get at Christmas time. This is the egg white, sugar, and orange juice frosting. And this cake too, you don't need it frosted. Again, it's one of these really moist cakes that if you want to use it more for a breakfast pound cake type thing, that's certainly fine too. Looks great, looks really dense and rich. And now, let's see. I hope it's good because it certainly was not a super quick cake to make. That's really good. I know I say that about a lot of the cakes I make, but it's very sweet and fruity, and I can taste the wine. This is really, really good. I hope you have a great 4th of July and give Martha Washington's Great Cake a try. I'm Tracy Briggs for The Great Indoors.